There's a real fear that Facebook could actually control the way people think.
We have evidence of them blacklisting conservative news.
We want transparency and fairness in how their formulas work on the news.
For many American conservatives, this week's report only confirmed what they already believed. The media is against them. In this case, social media.
I want to look Mark Zuckerberg in the eye and see, is he telling the truth?
This week, Facebook CEO met with Glenn Beck and other top voices of the American right to try to make the allegations of bias go away.
It's kind of a he said, she said story. Facebook says that wasn't happening.
But it puts a spotlight on Facebook's growing power as the go-to hub for news. More than 1 billion daily users.
The whole reason that they're trying really hard to claim that they're neutral and they're not a news organization is because they don't really want to get saddled with the legal or even just cultural baggage that comes with saying, hey, we are editors, we are journalists, and we are deciding what you should look at. It definitely is pretty disingenuous at this point in time for Facebook to say that we're not a journalistic enterprise or we don't have any sort of media impact, because they clearly and absolutely do.
Facebook, once mainly a search engine for long-lost friends,
A bunch of people are telling me that it's a great way to contact friends from the past.
became an ever-evolving ad hoc scrapbook of people's daily thoughts. Now, sharing personal stories is down, sharing actual news is up. A raging river of links, the average user soaks in for almost an hour a day. Data suggests clicking those links on Facebook drives about 40% of all referred traffic to news sites. That's even more than Google.
Facebook really is kind of become the front page of the world right now, in the same way that, people sat down and opened up the newspaper 20 or 30 years ago. Let's see what's happening. They open up Facebook that same way. So it has a lot of power. So all of those newspapers and all those TV stations and radio stations are trying really desperately to get their stuff to be passed around, to be popular inside Facebook.
This is the National News Bulletin.
It's another challenge for traditional media that has a long history of being rocked by rapid change.
This is NBC Nightly News. Introducing the Cable News Network.
But what Facebook has done is unique. About half of the population of the US and Canada is checking it every day. More than double newspaper readership in the 1980s when circulation peaked.
News organizations are accustomed to having to deal with competition. They're accustomed to having to suddenly deal with a crazy new thing that didn't exist before, like the internet, but they're not accustomed to someone coming along and saying, I control the attention span of the public at large.
The algorithms Facebook uses to filter what people see amount to what some would call a world editor-in-chief.
We can build something and make it better.
It has never been a neutral platform. Facebook has never been neutral. Its algorithm cannot be neutral because it's made by humans and it has priorities baked into what it does.
Besides likes, Facebook chooses your content based on the staggering amount of data it has on you.
You might have posted hundreds of photos, all sorts of videos, thousands upon thousands of words about what you've been doing. And there's never been anything like this before in history. There's never been a single place, a single company, where you voluntarily offer up that much detailed information about your life.
Facebook's true bias? It wants us to like what we see, so it makes us see what we like. The company itself has tried to combat fears it plunges people deeper into their own personal bubbles of bias.
Okay, you probably won't change your mind.
I'm not changing mine.
Changing your mind isn't the point.
The echo chamber effect is a big concern, and people have debated this for years. I'm going to have friends who I pick that have similar political views to me, and so now I'm going to be surrounded by political news that is just a big echo chamber, all liberal stuff, all right-wing stuff.
Big media organizations are watched for fairness, balance, accuracy. Facebook may be starting to face the same.
If Facebook has this central role, and if it's going to have that role for the near foreseeable future, then maybe it should be regulated. Maybe there should be a requirement that they, open the kimono and explain and show, in greater depth how their algorithm works. And I think that's a really interesting conversation to have.